It's time for Online Tecmo Super Bowl from GBLAN. This is Trojan 1979. Once again, I have Eric Odell, co-founder of the Detroit Kumite. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, hello.
Well, that was briefer than my introduction. Eric Odell is writing co-pilot with me today as we call our first bracket play game. We will have the link to the challenge bracket in the description. The higher seed is always going to be hosting in this. This is a double elimination tournament. And is there a Twitter handle that you want folks out there to follow? They want to keep in touch
sure.
with what's
Thanks,
going
Troy.
on?
You can find me at Tecmo Odell 42 on Twitter.
Excellent. We'll put that in the link as well. Ryan11P calling Chargers, Bears. Prime taking the Bears, who have the superior defense, great running attack, but crappy receivers. And let's get right into it here. John Carney.
San Diego with a good offensive line in this matchup against the Bears' defensive line, one of their stronger suits. So that should be able to neutralize one another.
That's some great insight. One thing I've noticed, too, if you go through the stat book there, you're going to find the defensive line is also very stout with the Chargers.
That's true. They have a couple guys a notch above 56 and higher, I believe.
So it looks like he's going with Gilbert. We have a called pass here. That's the giveaway when you have that pass 3 there without pass 4 also matching that formation. Offset eye, definitely the strength of this team is using the offset eye playbook. This time Tomzak keeps it on the ground. 3rd and 9, only 1 yard there. Not much doing. You're going to see a lot of run called against the Bears because that's how they beat you. Sometimes you'll see Anderson put at wide out. Nice run there by Anderson. Offset eye again. Looks like he's got Muster in the lead block position. Or is it Capo? So it has to be Muster at this situation. Just because of the way the playbook is.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Bozo was his kick returner, though.
Okay. Bozo not having enormous amounts of hitting power or speed, so interesting. I think they're going by that superstitious. We think our guy's going to go into bat if we put him in a kick returner, so they keep Muster out of it. Normally like to see Muster perhaps in the blocking tight end position with his receptions as well, and then using Bailey as the other running back, who is quite the speedster himself. This time Tomzak keeping it on the ground. Prime very, very patient here, surviving a 3rd and long situation, going back to pass 4 Bird. Covering the back end of the field. Let's see if he tries to come underneath. He's got 3 options. Deflected at the line. And we go to 2nd and 10. You get that sometimes with the flat trajectory of Tolliver.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
And we have a fumble out of bounds. Tecmo Gods checking in early here on this one. 3rd and 12 coming up. We have pass 4 coming in back to Bird on defense. Tomzak going crossfield to Davis in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago Bears.
Unbelievable. It looked like he didn't even get the throw off. And then when you saw the throw where the ball has that specific angle where you know it's going to be dead on point, you could not believe that he threw a bullet right to him.
With the quarterbacks like Tomzak, B.J. Tolliver, Vlasic, and Jim Harbaugh, it's funny to see them look like Vinny Testaverde in that situation.
Vinny's a good example. He lays a lot of those balls on his opponents.
Cox on the return there. Usually that's who you want, or Bernstein returning it. So a good decision there by Ryan11P, who's a great, just a great student of the game. Normally you'd like to see him. He's a big fan of the burn routes, along with it's very similar to the way if you've ever seen Justin Peters play. Dangerous throw there. It didn't look it would be, but the angle he took and the comeback, suddenly jumping pick could have been a reality there. We have Stinson making an appearance there out of the blue. 4th down and 6, and he's going for it here on his own and against arguably the best or second best defense in the game of the Chicago Bears. Tolliver getting it done.
The thing about the Bears, the stout defense, they are fairly sluggish. Carrier's 56 MS. He's their highest MS defender in the secondary. It's a bit slower than you'd like out of your top tier defenders. Although he does have 81 interception.
Yeah, it's certainly with the delivery speed, they can be exploited here if the quarterback's aim is true. Tolliver now keeping it on the ground again. I don't know if those extra 2 yards were worth taking it back to the inside. He had no players near him, and a sea of black and white.
Good wiggle, though.
He does. And now we've got Marion Butskin tangled up there. Looked like he might have had an opportunity to get away from the pack there, but the drone's making nice contact. Goes back to using carrier here. And pretty good drone coverage here. Throws it to Miller. Might be a mistake here. Luckily out of the back of the end zone, you know, against, I think it's a Denal Wilford at the bottom there.
Right.
He could be grabbing balls out of the air all day long. Called play there. We're at the 3rd and 12. Stinson at the top here. And some blocking room here. Nice juke by Ryan there. And first down coming up here. Ryan is really good in the open field. Decent tapper, but has learned to survive against better tappers than himself with moves like that. And we have 2nd down and 9. And it looks like Ryan's content to just march down the field and chew away as much of this clock as possible. He's got who he wants. Perfect delivery to Quinn early and easy trotting into the end zone. San Diego Chargers. Quinn early from B.J. Tolliver, and this game looks to be tied up shortly.
A nice drive there put together by Ryan and the Chargers. But one's got to question if he's going to make his living run around the pocket against that Bears defensive line. He could be in some trouble.
Well, if he's got to score in a hurry, how is he going to do it? That's the question. So 2:20.
That's another question with the Chargers.
As Cat Boza brings us back, and superstition might be kicking in, or maybe just doesn't know any better. Or maybe he's got some nostalgia from the original Tecmo Bowl Cat Boza on that. Would always seem to be the indefensible pass play. We have offset eye here from Prime here. Looked like he had some opportunity to move there, and they closed down in a hurry.
I think Ryan dove in after that. It was a nice, very nice play.
Lots of guys open here. Morris up top. Grabs it out of the sky. Morris, can he get a little late on this grapple here? I don't know if he's going to be able to juke it in. And he does. So he wins the grapple. Prime with the tap advantage there against Ryan11P. And we didn't know if the Chargers are going to be able to score quickly, but Prime says, I got this. Hold my beer.
Prime can put the pedal to the metal. He can score quickly with any type of ball club that he has.
So Ryan now gets put to the test. Can he take it down the field and get some points before the half? I think he did kick the ball off at the beginning of the game, so he does have that going for him. But if he could steal a field goal, at the very least, that's going to put him in a better situation. And now we see the pickle coming in. Mark Vlasic with his slower passing speed. You want the time for those receivers to get down the field and a better opportunity for a JJ.
But the problem is
go ahead.
Fastest receivers 44 MS. That creates some problems too.
And looks like he may, if that throw was a little truer, could have had potential isolation there against the drone. Doesn't work out. Ryan gets the ball back here, though, at the start of the third quarter. And Carl's not really happy about that halftime skippage there. Your thoughts on that?
The crowd isn't the only one. We could have used that break, too.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to pick your nose or something. Come on, guys. Give us a break.
Yeah. Just a moment to regroup.
Yeah, you don't get to breathe in these.
Tense first half.
I don't know if you had a chance to read any of the comments. The guy that stepped in and did the Madison commentary did a very nice job, and that was one of the comments he pointed out is there's no time to break things down like this.
No, there's not.
Ryan getting no technical love there, throwing down to the tight end, dropped on pass 2 there, and now he's got 3rd and 16. He was wide open, just couldn't haul it in. Singletary, it looks like Prime is doing a good job mixing up who he wants to use, and the drone's doing work. Jim Morrissey finishing off. And
forgive me if I'm wrong. Ryan called this matchup.
Correct. Yep. So as this bracket will go. The higher seed will always be the host, so they'll be the matchup caller.
Sure. this is one you don't see a lot out of. While these teams can certainly compete with one another, I think it's tough to argue that the Bears aren't the better team putting these two together.
I think the critical thing with this is I don't know if Ryan thought he'd be out-tapped by Prime. I think if you're a tapper with Marion Butts, it really opens the door with these running teams, and not having that advantage certainly makes this a little more of a challenge. I think like you kind of alluded to it also with the slower MS there and the faster delivery of a Tolliver. If his throws aren't erratic, you can get the balls in some areas that, especially if you got good rotation. So we've got Morse going way overthrown. Very, very lucky there. Was actually it probably would have been better if he got picked off. I didn't realize we were looking at a fourth down situation here. Don't know what Prime's thinking there. He's got the lead. He's got the Bears. Ryan's had one major drive there. Nice dive from behind, second down coming up here in the red zone. Odell, one of these days I'll let you talk. I feel like the game is moving really fast right now. This isn't bad.
It is. It's moving faster than the other two we've done. That's sure.
Burn route. What just happened? Burn route, jump, picked, fumbled, recovered by the offense. First down and goal from the 7.
Oh goodness. There was a lot going on there. This was on top of us already explaining how quickly the game's being played.
Someone just ran a train on my mental capacity here. This is unbelievable. And Wilford now selected on defense. Butts with run one to the top. Get some drone to help. The Bears still getting after the ball carriers. And Singletary's in a bad spot here. And doesn't let go of the ball. He's got a wide open wide receiver.
Again, something I noted in the first half, it just seems like he's holding on to the ball a long time with Tolliver back there.
Not sure if this game was laggy. Now, folks, when we see this, we're given a file. The emulator records the inputs as they're recorded by the game. So this is not exactly what they experienced.
Wow.
And can you believe after all that, Anthony Miller on a called pass one, gets the ball squeezed in there. He looked
out of the end zone to me, but that's one of the things that B.J. Tolliver can do is right there, that bullet.
Yeah. There's only a few quarterbacks in the game that can get it there that fast. Dan Marino comes to mind. Maybe Bubby Brister. I don't think that Jay Schrader gets that
Schrader's
ball there.
Got a nice rifle, but yeah, few and far between.
So Tom Zach's going to let it fly here to Johnny Bailey, who's open, and he drops the ball. Oh, Prime's got to be pretty upset about that, but he's got the ball.
And this is one of the strategies that you've mentioned in a lot of the broadcasts is how one of the things that you prefer is to put Johnny Bailey at the RB1 spot and put Neil Anderson at the receiving spot. Well, Neil had two higher notches than Bailey on that throw right there. That could have been a big difference maker.
So they're starting to get some mileage here out of this run-3 play. It's not busting loose, but he's getting positive yardage here. Prime now with a 4th and 1 on his own end. Definitely playing for the ball game here. And Anderson now has the whole field to work with here. Ryan got caught up in the muck, and I think, I talked to old Dirty Tecmo, and he said the biggest plays of the game happened on 4th and 1.
Yeah, I mean, you sell out at the line, and yeah, it's a stop or a 50-yarder a lot of the time.
And Anderson all the way to the house, up the middle. Unbelievable.
Looked like he ran through them a little bit there.
And you might have seen some leg correction there from the emulator kick in. I thought he was going to get caught near the 1-yard line there. I'm like, why is he running out of bounds? No, he had it. Prime to the house. Getting it done on the ground.
No, they're not getting caught.
Well, I'll tell you what, Anderson has, I think it's 56 running speed, a very unusual player that is known for his jukes and just getting up to top speed very quickly. Cox on the return, decent return there, out near the 30-yard line. We have a single back run 3 now with Butts. Nice job by Prime to wait till those other to the blockers engage on the defender, and then he cleans up the play. Nice juke by Ryan there. Gets just enough past carrier. Ryan with an opportunity here to get the game tied on this possession. I think he's going to try to keep it on the ground. and try to milk this clock a little bit. At least see a pass 3 formation here. Switching to Gale on defense is Prime. Multiple guys open here. Goes down to Harmon. Safe short throw, but maybe not the best open field guy as far as getting chunks of yards. But again, getting first down seems to be more important right now to him. And now we're going down to the minute 30 mark here. You got to think about finding a way to get this in the end zone here and making sure that you're tying the game up. Butts coming back to the inside. Middle of the field, a little dangerous here, but you got to use the whole field and get that touchdown. Not much doing there. We did have the running back streaking down there. Pro set formation. And Stinson now on defense. And looks like Ryan's going to be able to keep dinking and dunking here. I don't know if he's been calling run or not. The burn route is something that he tends to like to use in situations like this, but
Ryan's good for that, and he's certainly sticking to it, it seems, because that run is wide open.
Nice juke there, down to the 1. Critical down here. This might be the last play. Can the defense hold? And no, Wolford is too far away, and Butts is in for the end zone. And we'll see here if he tries to maybe do a shorter kickoff to see if he can get a fumble before he gets out of bounds, see what happens. You're not going to typically see the Bears get all the way down in one play with Muster or... I mean, you can see it done, but usually the defense is good enough here for the San Diego. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Bears aren't despite it being usually Muster back there, they're just not a great team at returning it. And we go to OT. I love it.
And skipping right ahead here, Cox on the return. Ryan11P with first chance to draw blood now, and just for all the fans out there. Tecmo rule is you score, you win. It doesn't matter. There's no second possession. And we have a good condition.
You like that. You like to see that.
And we see Harmon in bad. Well, hopefully he's not a liability. He is, I think, in the RB2 position.
Unfortunately, Troy, he's still a lot better than some of these slugs on San Diego's offense.
Well, I was thinking from a ball control standpoint, you wouldn't want to turn the ball over on this end of the field.
Sure.
But you're absolutely correct. You know, it's one slug for another. We've got first down there. Pass through here. And Tolliver caught in the middle of the field there, fumbles the ball. It doesn't go out of bounds. The Bears take over.
You had a feeling it was coming at some point with the mileage that Tolliver was getting.
Yeah, and even in good condition there, I guess it puts him for quarterbacks up to a 50 ball control,
right.
But that's still no better than a 50-50 for any of these other guys. So we've got Anderson right up the gut. We saw this before. And Prime wasting no time taking this one in overtime. Neil Anderson. Prime showing... Oh, yes, absolutely. Prime showing he can get it done through the air and on the ground today. We obviously had that fumble at the end there. That's a tragic way to lose a game by Ryan, but you thought he played a pretty good game. Your thoughts for both of these players as they move on in the tournament?
Both boys played a solid game. They played to the team's strengths. And Prime got it in overtime. One well-played game, boys. Congrats.
So Neil Anderson
good luck throughout.
Absolutely. Neil Anderson getting it done. 163 yards just through the ground here. And really a balanced attack. 170 yards on the ground total for the Bears. 116 through the air. You'll take that with Tom Zach, even with this 37%. Tolliver with only 43 yards. I think you'd like to see a little bit more out of Tolliver with the production. A lot of ball control there with Marion Butts, but just not enough to really break the game wide open. If you're keeping him under 5 yards a carry, that's a recipe for success against that team every time. So, like to thank you for watching this bracket game here for the GBLAN Online Tecmo Super Bowl Tournament. This is Trojan with Odell signing off. We'll catch you next time on GBLAN Online Tecmo.